Hi, welcome to the reading room. Today is Tag Tuesday, and I came up with a tag on my own. We are in the midst of the 101 days of summer. That to me is basically from Memorial Day into Labor Day is about 101 days. And we squeeze so much into summer, and there's so many different tropes that come to mind when I think of summer. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a tag incorporating some of those tropes. I had to pull up here on my phone because I don't have it memorized. About eight questions. I came up with this tag on my own since we're in the midst of summer, and I thought they'd have some fun with it. So question number one, barbecue time. Food brings people together, good food more so. Pick a favorite author. They are inviting you to a barbecue to announce their newest work. What do you hope they are announcing, and what are you bringing to share? I actually couldn't think of it. I guarantee you some of the people that watch my channel probably thought I was going to say Frida McFadden. I would want to go to a barbecue hosted by her to find out what her new book was. Nope. I thought about this, and I'm going to have to say Franz Kafka. And I'll tell you why. I'm in the midst of a reading project where I'm reading Franz Kafka biographies, and I'm rereading some Franz Kafka novels. And I find I would have loved it if Franz Kafka would have written his own autobiography about his life. He's had one written by his best friend and a few others, but I just find his mind was so unique to have had to be able to read an autobiography written by him would have been amazing. So I would have to say I would want Franz Kafka to invite me to a barbecue to tell me he is getting ready to publish his autobiography. Now, I originally was going to take some chicken skewers, weaved with bacon and barbecue sauce, but Franz Kafka was Jewish, and I don't know the rules off the top of my head. So I'm going to say chicken skewers that I make with kind of a really nice barbecue sriracha sauce. Throw them on the grill, burn them, get some crisp on there. Actually, what I would probably do prior to the barbecue was learn about kosher, and if I could put bacon on there, and then if I could bake bacon on there, then I would put bacon on there. All right, question number two. Road trip. That's a common theme. Characters often embark on summer road trips to explore new places. Pick a real-world setting from a recent or not so recent read. Where would that road trip take you? I just recently read The Long Walk by Stephen King. He's obviously known for a lot of his stories taking place in Maine, which is where The Long Walk takes place. They start up through Maine and walk down. I believe they end up in New Hampshire or Massachusetts. I don't remember where it ends by the end of the novel. And I would not want to be part of The Long Walk. I would definitely want it to be part of a road trip. So I would have to pick the Maine area. And I do hope to get up there someday. One of my goals is to golf in each of the 50 states. So a road trip up to Maine to make that happen would be ideal. So number three, camping. A common setting for adventures in the outdoors with a focus on nature. Do you rough it, say tent and a sleeping bag, or do you require amenities? And will you read more than usual? Having been in the military for 20 years, roughing it is not really an issue. I can do it. Do I like it? No, I do not. Give me amenities. I want to be able to get up, use the bathroom in a nice bathroom, take a shower if I want to take a shower. But other than that, I'm fine with a sleeping bag, in a tent, air mattress, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm not a huge fan of camping. I do like to go. It is fun to sit around the fire in the evenings, chit chat, have a beer, whatever. Would I get more reading done? I probably would, actually. I'm not so much a nature guy that I want to go on hikes. If we're by a lake, a body of water, that's probably different. I want to be interacting with the water, canoeing, swimming, or whatever. But if we're just in the middle of a forest and camping, I'm more than happy just hanging back during the day, keeping the campsite safe from the wild animals and reading a bit more. So, question four, festivals. A vibrant and lively setting for meeting new people and experiencing new things. You're attending a Booktube festival where dressing as one of your favorite literary character is the only requirement. Who do you go dressed as and why? Well, I have not put a lot of thought into this one because I can't think. I'm not like a huge cosplayer. Actually, I would do Sherlock Holmes. Honestly, I think I would do Sherlock Holmes. I think that would be probably the most fun. I know it's a common character that people would dress as, but he is one of my favorite characters. I thoroughly enjoy the Sherlock Holmes canon and the I don't know what the coat's called, with the pipe and the hat and all that. Not the cocaine. We won't use the cocaine as part of the dress up. But yeah, I have to say Sherlock Holmes. If I wanted to go all out, maybe Marvin, the manically depressed robot from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I think he's a funny character, but that'd probably be a little bit more work than I would want to do as somebody going to a festival. All right, let's see. Slice of Life, number 5. And that's showcasing the simple pleasures of summer, often focus on everyday life and experiences. What is something others may consider simple and mundane, but is something you can't see a summer without? Ice cream. I eat ice cream year round. I love ice cream. But something about 8, 9 o'clock at night as the temperature is going down. Well, not in Texas because the temperature never goes down enough to open a window and enjoy a slight breeze or the summer air. But I love just getting a bowl of ice cream, a big bowl of ice cream. I put some soda on there. I put the magic shell in there, whatever. Load it up. Give me ice cream. To me, even though I eat it year round, I have to have it during the summer. At any given time during the summer, there's probably 3 different flavors of ice cream in my freezer. So, all right. Question 6, scary story. Which author would you invite to go camping with you, knowing you would want to hear the scariest story they can tell around the campfire? Freida McFadden. That's where Freida McFadden would come into play. I would want to hear what is the scariest story you can tell me, twist it, and scare me again. I challenge you, Freida McFadden. I challenge you to be able to scare me twice, telling me a scary story around the campfire. So, question number 7. First love, summer crush. Ooh. All right. A romantic interest during the summer months often leads to a bittersweet ending or a lasting impression. Which do you prefer to read? How does the age of the characters affect this opinion? The reason I added that second part to that question is you think of a lot of summer romances as, young kids, teenagers. I can't recall a lot of reading a lot of summer romances of adult characters, older adult characters, because I think you could have both, obviously. It could be a bittersweet ending, but it could still have an impact on you. I don't have any personal experience with this, but I think I would lean toward a lasting impact because that's about learning, that's about growth, and a lot of, that's what you want to see with your characters. And that can come from a bittersweet ending. It can come from a happy ending. It can come from a sad ending. So, but I think you definitely, if you're in the realm and you're having a summer fling or summer crush or summer love, there has to be some type of long lasting impact on that. There has to be something you take away from it that in your golden years, you look back and there's just kind of a warmth in your heart regarding it. So. All right, question number 8, I think. 7, 8. The summertime often evokes a sense of nostalgia, where characters revisit memories or find themselves longing for the past. What book or books imbibe you with an overwhelming sense of summer nostalgia? Now, they don't necessarily have to take place during the summer, but something maybe that is possibly summer related to you. Now, the interesting thing about this question was when I was thinking of my answer, something popped into my head, and it was Middle America. And I honestly don't know why. It had to have been something with my subconscious saying, hey, we got you right here, bud. This is what you want. So as I mulled over why Middle America would come into my mind, it clicked. I can remember a lot of the times during summer going to the library and checking out Bloom County Books. It is a comic strip from the 80s. It was an 80s comic strip. If you remember it, Steve Dallas, Milo, Bill the Cat, Opus the Penguin was probably the most popular. I loved this strip. I enjoyed it. I was only 10, 11 when I started reading it. I learned a lot about politics. I love penguins to this day. And what it was about Bloom County that gave me such a summer memory, other than reading it during summer, was during summer they would go to the swimming pool, they would play softball, they would hang out in the meadow and just talk and chat. And those are things that I remember from summer, playing softball, obviously going swimming in swimming holes, maybe just sitting in a field or in a park, just chatting with your friends. And it's captured so well in Bloom County with sometimes a political slant or just a fun slant. And it was interesting to ask myself that question, come up with Middle America, and then work myself into Bloom County, because I check those books out from the library constantly. That's how much I enjoyed that comic strip. So interesting that Bloom County came up as a kind of a summer nostalgia thing for me. So the last question, not necessarily a question, I can't recall a lot of books I've read that focused on a summertime. I can think of Stand By Me. I think Stand By Me, probably by Stephen King, would count. So I would say for the last question, number 9, what books, or do you have any books on the top of your head that you're aware of that capture any of the tropes of summer that these questions follow, that you would recommend? So, like I said, I can't think of any personally other than Stand By Me, but that would be, I think that would be a good concluding question. And then, of course, you end every tag video with tagging people. If you watched it, you're tagged. Definitely tagging Michelle over at Literary Me. I'm going to tag Isabel at Isabel Reads. And again, still being a fledgling or a newer YouTube channel, I don't have a lot of people that I can just tag that know who I am. So I hope the tag will spread. I hope people will have fun with it. And then I hope from that, a lot of people will get tagged. So that's Tag Tuesday. That is the 101 Days of Summer tag. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for stopping by the reading room. And I hope your next reading experience is a wonderful reading experience.